My role on this hikoi is, I guess I'm sort of the second or third in command. I'm sort of the outdoors facilitator, pretty much a guide, and just teaching everyone about whatever I can think of. A lot about our ancestors, bring them out to a lot of different places and talk about a lot of different things, from plants to animals to archaeological sites, geology, yeah, everything.
Oh, Kahu's been good, yeah, he's got so much knowledge. Yeah, it's just endless.
Yeah, it's mean. He's really funny, really cool guy, and his knowledge is just endless. It's amazing.
The way I see it is Te Ara Whakatipu is focused on getting our young people out into the bush, leadership, showing them leadership outside of the classroom, and really connecting a lot of our young people together. A lot of the whānau we have on these trips, you know, either aren't really connected or don't really know much about their Māori side, and it's really good to bring them all together.
It's more just getting into it, just giving it your all. And the thing is, I thought I'd be judged, or it would be harder, or I'd just be pushed out, but no, everyone's real welcoming. Honestly, this is the only way to learn.
Because we do so many activities where you're sort of forced to connect back, and you do mihi, so you learn about that side of things. So yeah, it really gets you back.
So it goes anywhere between sort of 7, 8, 9 days, and so we walk in the Hollyford. It's about a 20k walk on the first day, and of course we're stopping and talking about all different things from botany, human history, a lot of that. And then throughout the week we work on sort of Māori pronunciations. We learn our mihi, our whakapapa, we learn a haka song, and then of course everything to go with that. So all of our ancestral things and pretty much whatever we can jam pack into a week and a bit, really.
For me, one of my main highlights was making the hinaki, the tuna trap. It was just really cool to sort of get a hands-on sort of experience of what our tipuna used to do. And going into the forest and collecting all the resources we need to make that.
Oh, it's all a highlight, but like there's some things that stick out, like seeing some of those big old 700-year-old trees and everything. And yeah, going for a dip in the water, yeah, it's pretty nice. So, yeah.
We made flax basket thingies. We like weaved the flax, and that was real good. Like I thought it was going to be nice and easy, but it actually was quite tricky, and it was a nice challenge. And when we went and saw the penguin, went round to the seal colony or whatever you called it, there was a yellow-crested penguin, came right up real close to us.
I reckon the people are some of the coolest, and also the boating. I love the boating, it's quite cool. I find it pretty fun.
It's definitely such a good experience, and you learn a lot from it, so yeah, I would recommend it.
Yeah, definitely. Even if you're like not too sure about it like I was, even if you're shy, just go for it, because I've gotten a lot out of it. So I think that you'd regret it if you didn't take it.
Pretty special, eh? Like knowing that the track we walked in on Monday was the track that our ancestors walked, and that they were there, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Everybody used to use kelp bags to cure their birds in those days, but we were told as kids that whoever went to Piko Mamakanui had to put their birds into Pōwhiri and keep that mahi alive. I guess I'm one of the lucky ones. I've got a family who have all carried on, and they're all proficient. The Pōwhiri, the main part of it is the kelp bag. There's about 50 different breeds of bull kelp. The breed that we use is the Remarapa. When you see it growing, if you see it a goldy sort of looking yellow colour, a nice fine kelp, and it has a nice, what we call honeycomb inside. It's easily opened, it's strong, and the right shape and size. I would have learnt as much from aunties and uncles, but my Pākehā grandmother would have been the one that really contributed the most, but a lot of others as well.
It's the gathering really that is the memory. Like it's the trips up to Karaka Point to get the kelp. Things like there's a lot of preparation in it before actually doing it, if you know what I mean. Like a lot of gathering and travelling around. The whole fleet of us in the old Holden with a bacon egg pie and off go and spend the day at the beach getting kelp. Yeah, that's sort of good memories.
So I'm looking for the honeycomb, nice long bits, all sorts of shapes, skinny bits, fat bits, to fit different sized birds in, of course. So this is the stuff we can't take. It's got a few too many holes in it. So you can see the honeycomb through the middle here, none here on the edges. So we'll take this piece. That's coming with me.
When the wool scour started, and of course you had the pollution already in the river, the kelp at Maui, when that started, the whole lot died, bang. And then that pollution kept coming around the coast and we kept just ahead of it. And it came right round here to Bluff and it killed the kelp at Papakaya over the other side of the harbour. You know, now we have to go right down to Karaka Point to get our kelp, and we've even had a problem with pollution there in one place. The good thing is that the wool scour is finished in Invercargill now, and the black kelp, which is this hardy kelp and can stand more pollution than the favourite one of ours, it's come back to a Maui now. So hopefully we're on the right track and things will improve. We got more than I expected, that's real good. Kelp has a grain in it, depending on the plant. Some kelp has to be open coming up, and fortunately this one will open going down. Limpet shell, place that inside. That sealed that hole off. You work with it as it's drying. You've got to check that the pressure is up in it, otherwise it'll shrink. And how it ends up when it's dried is the shape it'll stay forever. Some of them might be like a banana, so you hang weights on them to pull them straight and shape them as you go. So that's it. So there's the patch. We've got all different sizes. Some years you'll get them all exactly the same and you've got to wait till it's ready. This year, see that? That's the centre one, but it's too big. To do the big kitty that we use on the kelp bags, on the poha, you need a certain amount of whītau on that to weave together for the base of it. There's two different fibres in flax. There's a coarse fibre here on the outside and a nice fine fibre on the centre of the flax, which is what we're using. Yeah, we'll get some flax here. tied up in the bundles and dunked into the boiling water, copper full of water, and left for only a few minutes. If it's boiled too long, you'll cook it and it's not palatable, so it's not worthwhile cooking. So it's just to get all the gum and impurities off it and soften it so that it's nice and pliable and easily worked to make the kitty later. When you learned to do those baskets, it took you at least 5 years. And the first year, all you would do is split that bottom, that feet out there all together. Then you'd pass it on to an uncle or an auntie, and they'd do the rest. We just stretch it out to get the whole weave tight. Fit the kelp into the kitty. And there we are, all ready for the bark to be placed around it. Totra's getting less and less. All native trees are getting less and less because they've been milled and cleared for farms and all that sort of thing. So Totra's it's taonga, I suppose you could say, because without it you just wouldn't be able to do your pohas as you do. When the tree's ready to shed, well, that's when you take what the tree gives you. A lot of this breed of tree, the roots are right above the ground. The rough stuff on the outside we'll put on the roots that are uncovered, because that's what nature intended, was that bark that's shed falls on the roots of that particular species of Totra and covers it and mulches down. So the tree's happy and we're happy. The bark that's nearest to the tree goes on the inside because the bark has a natural curve that way, so we don't fight against nature, we just work with it. So these here are just going round and round with no tension on them at all. Once that's all done and it's secured at the top, we've got to get right to the top. If we start to tension that now, we're going to pull that down. So we've got to get right up to the top, get that made firm there, and then we can tension it down and it's not going to slide down. You can see it's starting to pull together and hold it secure now. And leave something that you can reasonably get hold of and throw a decent distance. The only thing left to do is to get rid of the excess Totra bark on the top. Mission accomplished.
Growing up in Bluff was real good because we were so close to all the seafood that we could get. Whitebait was there, the crayfish, the oysters, pawas, kina, and it was easy to get from down the beach. Kia ora mana tātou, na mihi kia koutou whānau, tēnā koutou katoa. E te mihi kia koutou ki te awhi, te tautoko te kaupapa o ngā toriro o Auriti Beach o Murihiku. Ko Cyril Gilroy ahau, nau mai hari mai. Kia ora. Whakatakahau ki te uru. Whakatakahau ki te tonga. Kia mākirikira ki uta. Kia mā taratara ki tai. E hi aki ana te atakura. He tio, he huka, he hauhu, ti hei mauriora. When it was plentiful and people could go out there without any restrictions, we'd all go out there and have a net, some flounders, toiros, you know, and sit out there and have a big feed and a fire going and enjoy the day. It was whānau day.
My first recollection is going down the beach and seeing these thousands of holes and digging them with my toes. We all used to get in the water, just up, we let the wave come in and you see the hole there and you can dig them with your toes and they were just down there, you just pick them up like that. They're too far down for me, they're too cold. They are a long way down. Quite often they're just a little indentation in the sand and you go along and you stamp your foot like that and they pop up. Oh, no, not the tohuros, the hole, and you can see it. And it takes a bit of practice and you've got to know what you're looking for, really.
What's my favourite passion? For me, I guess it's creating uniforms because they come from within.
So it was quite an adventure to come down on the old express. They used to love it, that family.
I'd go to bed and I'd be thinking about, all right, the group needs a new uniform. How can I make this different from any other uniform? A lot of times in the middle of the night, I'd wake up and think, oh, I can do that. and it sort of stems from there, yeah. And so the next morning, as soon as it's sunlight, if you like, we're up running around trying to find the materials because it's still there.
Oh, it's going to be a nice day here, Auntie.
Huh?
Nice day.
Yep.
Yeah. Whaia ki te uru tapanui a tāne, tāne te waiora, tāne te pukunga, tāne te tokorangi. Puta ki te whaiau, ki te ao marama. Tū te kana, tū te marakate, tuhi te rarama e noho te matara nei. Tūturu mai kia whakamaua kia tina. Haumi e, hui e, tāi ki e.
The Glickman's going up on the top.
Oh, yes, Tai. Jumping?
Whoa, heck.
Oh, that was close.
You fell, eh?
Yeah.
Both her and I like to try different materials. Some say don't mix the sea with the land. But I don't believe that. Both of them have their own beauty, and why not have them together? It's like a marriage, you're quite different.
True.
And you come together. So I like to put pounamu with pawa, pounamu with feathers, and I do that a lot on the uniforms. I mix the both because of the beauty, because of the past. That was our people. And so I'm showing to the audience that we're carrying on the traditions of the past.
We are one of the few rōpū that have full skirts. Our piu-piu and the bottom of our skirts represent auraki, our maunga, and waitaki, our awa. The orange of our group represents Te Ahi Kārua, the eternal flame, the everlasting love of haka that burns within us. Our pounamu tie us to here, to Te Waipounamu. They're a link to our ancestors of Te Tahupotiki. I feel like when Toa makes our uniforms for us, she's bringing the history and the knowledge that she knows with her, and she's putting them into our uniforms so that we can share them with everyone else.
When this is finished and it wraps around my grandchild, he will have all his ancestors wrapped around him to make sure that when he is speaking, that he speaks for the good of the people. That's what it is for. A true rangatira is someone who looks after all the people. It's quite a lot of muka on here, and that he hopefully has the fibre that makes him the fibre of a man, will be nice and strong. And that as his cloak is woven, he too will be a wonderful man as he grows up. Being wrapped in a cloak of love, which is what I call it, or a cloak of righteousness, really, so that whatever's right has been for our ancestors, hopefully this is woven for the mukapuna to do the same, that his actions will be right by the people.
I guess we're trying to say to our younger generation, you can do it. Our elders did it, why can't we? And we need to hold on to these things because the materials don't last forever.
These fragments we know are over 500 years old. They're found at Kaituarite, and they're the earliest examples of Māori textiles that exist. One of the things that I overheard Mum talking about are the type of stitching that's now happening, that was happening 500 years ago, and how some of that stitching is very familiar, and how some of it is stuff that that weavers could learn from.
Yes, that's exactly what we do today. Same weaving, same technique. This is exquisite weaving. It's very, very fine. It's very precise weaving. Beautiful. You would have to have a lot of practice to get this technique. I look at it and think about our people way back then, our ancestors, how proficient they were at what they did. Can I just talk about patterns? Because I love that subject. Patterns.
Yes.
Patterns to me come from nature too.
Yeah.
And by that I mean, you look at a praying mantis when it's praying and have a look how you've just hit on it, how his legs are shaped. Yeah. You look at it, there's your triangle straight away, right? And you look at the sea in the wake of a ship, you see it going like this. There's your other pattern. There's your aramoana pattern. Patterns come from nature and from everything to do with it. The animals, the birds, look at all their shapes and all their colours. That's where patterns came from. They don't belong to you, they don't belong to me. They're the universe.
500 years ago, we were doing whāriki with our traditional natural resources. Skip forward to 2015, 16, 17, And we've now got our weavers using those same techniques, that same patterning, and the same concept of what a whāriki is and how we use whāriki, and then now doing that in paving stones.
We were asked by our own hapu if we would do the whāriki.
Oh, we were.
Yeah.
That's right, Tuahiwi.
Yeah, Tuahiwi.
It was Tuahiwi.
Yep.
Marae that asked, yeah.
Yep.
They had stated to both Morohu and I that they would like their ratana designs on the pavings. They would like their putties designed on the pavings and the Ngāi Tahu emblem, if you like. So her and I went back and discussed this, and we both felt strongly no.
We couldn't put them on the floor, on the street, so people can trample all over our mana. No. So that's why we didn't do it.
Morohu and I sat down and once again tried to figure out new designs.
We loved doing the one on the bridge. When we explained about, you know, the design of it, there was lots of people crying in the audience. Yeah, so it's all about, it was so relative to the bridge that people just think it's lovely. We had the lines of those who went to war, and then when they came back, there weren't so many. And then, of course, the poppies. We had the actual flower designed on those oblongs. The general populace of Canterbury now call them the welcoming mats, which they are if they're the Pōwhiri process. The tikanga behind it is the Pōwhiri. Ngāi Tahu will be through the city, you know, just in that artwork.
E noho e te mōrehu I ringo e te ingoa te matuatama, wairua tapu, ana hera pono, me te māngai, E te māngai e ngā anahera pono e te tokota rūtapu. Kia tatu anō mai ka koutou ki wainganui ki tēnei whakamaumite o mātou. Hei tatari ngā kupu katoa e whakapuakina ana e mātou I roto I tō koutou kororiatanga. Ko koutou nei hoki I te timatanga me te whakaotinga mai o a mātou e tūmanaku atu nei I roto I tō koutou kororiatanga. Ko te māngai hei tautoko mai, ai nei ake nei, Tango I te tāpae me te ripeneta. E te mōrehu, e whakaana rā tātou ki te tāpae atu I o tātou he katoa ki tō tātou araki. Kia tahuna atu ki te ahi, kia pongolehu atu ne. Ka noho ana tātou I runga I te ngākau ripeneta, kia whānau hau ai I roto I te wairua ne. E te māngai e ngā anahera pono, kua rongo iho nei koutou ki tō mātou reo tāpae ripeneta. No reira I tika ai, kia hoatu a mātou whakamaumiti, ki mua I o koutou aroaro. Mō a koutou tini manaakitanga, I whiwhine mātou, mai o ngā rā ki muri, taino mai ki tēnei rā. Ka inu atu nei mātou, kia whakaungia mai tō koutou aroha noa, ki runga kia mātou, mō ngā wā katoa. Ko te māngai hei tautoko mai, ai nei ake nei, Tō tātou wai ta whakamoemiti hymn number 3.
Before we sing the Hui-ā-Iwi whakamoemiti, I've got books down here on the stage. Anyone wants to borrow a book, come and get it now. And if it's not returned, then you'll put $20 in the hāhi account. No, we're going to sing it, we're not playing it. E hari e koa te mōrehu ne, tēnei te pāpo te whakaranga, ko rā tanara te heru haramaha, he oki oki ngā mō tātou katoa. Anahera, reo, get up here, get up here. Anahera, waiata, get to the mic. Waiata tiara tana, waiata tiara tana e, ngā wakatoa. Nā te page 78. Sorry, darling, page 78. Haere tonu. Ana hera pono, kia whakapainga.
Kia whakahāpungia tātou i te wairua tapu. Kia whānau i te ngākau whakapono ki ngāna hera pono.
No reira e ngāna hera pono. Kia noho tūturu koutou ki mua ia koutou pononga morehu.
E ngāna hera pono. Kua rongo nei koutou ia kau te wātete ana. E mātou e te iwi morehu.
E kore hoki koutou e ngāna hera pono. Ngā tia e te iwi morehu.
Ko koutou nei hoki me ngā anehira pono. Ngā karare a te tokotori tapu. Ki mua i tō rātou korona.
I mua anō hoki te māngai. Me te iwi morehu katoa.
Me te tono atu ki ana hokonu koutou, ki wainganui i te iwi morehu.
A koutou hoki e ngāna hera pono. E
Ka hore koutou e ngāna hira pono, e mōhiotia ana i ngā rā ki muri.
ngāna hera pono. Ka hore I mōhiotia e te ao katoa.
Engari no tēnei Maramatanga, whakamiharu e ngāna hira pono. Ka mōhiotia koutou e ngā morehu mea mātou tamariki.
Nō reira e ngāna hera pono. Manaakitanga ngā inoe a ngā morehu katoa.
Kia whakaungia te Maramatanga o ngā anehira pono. A iwa ki runga ki ngā morehu katoa.
Kia whiwhi ai ki te Pūawaitanga. Me te hua o ngā mahi e tū manokoti ana.
Ko te māngai nei hoki me ngā anehira pono. Tō tātou piringia ki te tokotori tapu.
Kia whakakororia te matua. Tama wairua tapu. Me ngāna hera pono. Me te māngai ai.
E noho i te mōrihu I runga I te ingoa te matua tamaha. Wairua tapu, ana hera pono me te māngai. Ai.
Ai. Tēnā tātou katoa. Can you hear me at the back? Who's at the back there? Yeah, okay, cool. Because if I pull it down, I'll be too loud. There. I'll blow your brains out. Repeat after me. All is well.
All is well.
Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. He koha tēnei kia koutou. Say it every day, when you wake up, or when you go to bed, or before you go to bed, while you're in bed. Just so you know, Thursday night we were here, we wanted to have everything ready for you when you come the next day. For the Pōwhiri, those manuhiri who came, those of whānau who came. And to do that, we needed to go to the bell and bless the bell and name the bell. And you see that beautiful bell sitting out there. No one can pinch it because it's screwed on to the building, eh? There, no disappearing of the bell. We named it Maramatanga. And we're told that the first bell ringer of this hāhi came from Te Waipounamu, from Invercargill. Haven't yet heard whether he was Ngāi Tahu or not, but at the moment he's Ngāi Tahu. That bell came from Rotorua, and that bell was traded for a bucket of mutton birds. Mahinga kai tēnei ne. Then after that, we blessed the mahau. You know, the mahau was way back there, and then the whare got extended, so we needed to bless the mahau. And I was delightfully surprised to hear the mahau is called Hutaka, after my tawa. While I'm standing here at the mic, she's my tawa. One of the most wonderful, no, I'll rephrase that. The best kai karanga in the world. Beautiful. And as Uncle Jim Tirikatane said years ago, you could hear her for miles. Well, if you listen to our senior cousin, she got a voice like that too. Ne, not naming anyone. And I always believe if I'm ever going to be half as good as my tawa, I'll be happy. I'm very happy now. And so that mahau is Hutaka. From there on, this was at 10 to midnight on Thursday night. And then from there we went over to the ngutu to bless the ngutu. Some of you may want to call it a waharua. Wrong. Ko te ngutu tēnā. And this ngutu was named after the man who led the claim, Ngāi Tahu claim, Rakihia. And while we're there at the ngutu, the tohu lights were turned on. They will be turned on every night because they're going to be solar powered. And those lights coming back to, the lights, my baby said to me, Mum, how big do you want these tohu lights? And I said, oh, so big. And centimetres, I have no idea what centimetres are. I don't want to know. So I said, well, as big as the lid on the mutton bird bucket. There again, it's all mahinga kai. So the tohu, when you look at the tohu of te hāhi, te Maramatanga o te hāhi, know that that is the size of the lid on the bucket of mutton birds. Then we went to, I'm telling you about this, the tohu lights. We had my girl child and my mokopuna number 5 located the kahukiwi that Tahupotiki Wiremu gave to Uncle Jim Tirikatane, Te Reruera Tirikatane, when he was there in Parliament. This kahukiwi came home to Tuahiwi, and it was there with us on the mahau, out there with the ngutu, under the ngutu. And my girl child was intent on getting someone to blow or play the waiatatangi of Ratana's wife in memory of him. and she found one of our whānau who could play a viola. Ne. Beautiful. In the crowd, things stopped, and then we heard the beautiful violin, viola playing, and no one could see where she was. So it wasn't a performance, she wasn't put out there in front of us so we could all, it was a waiata tangi. Beautiful listening to this lovely waiata. I'll see if I can find it. Just a moment. And I've just received a message that if we do a whakapiki ora for Kukupa, who gave that korowai, that kahukiwi, to my moko, to my mokopuna, to my daughter to bring home. And if we could do some piki ora, whakapiki ora in this thing. I'm just going to find this waiata. It's a beautiful waiata. Here it is. Want to hear it? Okay. Wiremu te mangai, te matua o, te katoa, kua hea nei koe, e o marae mahanoa, o moko nara, e tangi a wirere nei, me peheara te mama. I te ha, i te po, i te taipati noi, ta kiri ana mai, tōreo aroha, me ka pokau atu au, i te re hu o te tai, me pehu a maira ia. Imagine hearing that on a viola in the darkness and the semi-darkness. It was glorious. And Serenity is our mokopuna who played that waiata. We finished there at the ngutu, and we stood there and we could see the fence there, and we blessed the fence, the taiapa. The taiapa was named Te Kereme o Ngāi Tahu. So no one can take that fence away from us. This is where the hearing or the Pōwhiri was here at Tuahiwi to begin the claim of Ngāi Tahu. And so it's fitting that Rakihia stands in front of the fence, in front of the taiapa. So then, this rohe is te omeka. Ratana cut his body spiritually into four koata. Rino tere kātene is te koata o tēnei rohe. And then we have the other koata, Piriwiri Tua, in Tai Tokerau, Arepa on the west coast, and Hamuera on the east coast. Te omeka, te ture tangata. You know, we could be talking te ture wairua and te ture tangata here. Well, te omeka is te ture tangata. Treaty. We know, we've heard many stories about how Ratana came with the Bible in one hand and the treaty in the other. Then we go from here to Christchurch, or Tautahi, and we have the building that we opened, blessed and opened, and that building is Te Omeka. And in that building are the police, the Department of Corrections, St John's Ambulance, Māori Land Court, and many other tenants in that building. Te Omeka. When we were at Te Omeka Pā, I said to Te Maire, see that tohu up there? Yep. I want that on Te Omeka in o Tautahi. So we need all your fingers crossed. Hey. And then talking about Te Omeka Pā. See, this is Te Omeka the rohe. Then we have Te Omeka Pā. 80 years ago, I have to tell you the story. 80 years ago, Ratana was there on the 21st of September to officially open his second pā, Te Omeka. A traction engine was taken from Tuahiwi up to Ratana prior to that by Tere Kātene, who was in charge of all the traction engines and whatever at Ratana Pā. Then it was taken from Ratana Pā up to Matamata to Te Omeka Pā. It was there to cook the kai for those thousands of people who came for the opening of Te Omeka Pā. The guys who were in charge of cooking the kai, they had done a lot of work, prepared the kai, and they were rather thirsty, but Matamata was in the non-something or other area. So they went away down the road further to refresh themselves. While they were there, while they were away, the traction engine blew up. And they had to, when they came back, they had to cook the kai in a different manner because there was all those thousands of people too. 80 years ago, it blew up. And it stood outside of Te Omeka Pā for years, rusted away, dungarol traction engine still there. And this young Pākehā guy was going past, periodically on holiday, saw this traction engine, thought, I want that. Oh, I want that traction engine. And it was rusty. The kids played on it for years, for 70 years those kids played on it, including Ratana's niece, who was here for the blessing the other night. So, along they came, got hold of my girl child, can you please find the traction engine? She's like a terrier who gets her teeth into something and she doesn't let go until she finds it. Trevor House we had just taken him to his resting place, and Amiria said to Kim Manahi, where will I find any information about a traction engine? Kim Manahi said, go to the museum at Rangiora, there's plenty of them around here. Cutting a long story short, in case you go to sleep. Anyone going to sleep yet? We went to North Canterbury looking for this traction engine. I had to go without my cup of tea to go with them, with Amiria and Kereoma, the man who our pōtoro who comes to teach us about the hahi, about the Maramatanga. She left an essay on the window of someone's door. They in turn rung her to tell her, yes, the traction engine is alive, so to speak. Where is it? Tuahiwi. Hey? How on earth did it get to Tuahiwi? This young man lives here at Tuahiwi, and he restored the traction engine. And he lives down there at Bramley's Road. And then, so the Te Omeka Pā said, oh, please, can we get this traction engine up here for the 80th anniversary? It happened. That traction engine was taken from here up to Matamata, up to Te Omeka Pā, and it became part of the parade. You know how the reo marched in, and they marched the manuhiri in, and well then after as they marched in on the parade onto the marae, so too came the traction engine, puffing away there beautifully. And they cooked the vegetables in that traction engine for the top table at Te Omeka Pā. Miracles are happening all the time, and we need to watch out for them because they're exciting stuff. So, coming back to Te Omeka, I was hoping that the Bishop of Te Waipounamu for Hahi Mihingari would be here, but he hasn't been able to arrive. obviously. But what I want to tell you too is that now I'm into commercialism. Komiti Takiwā o Te Omeka has been formed. And we have members of the committee, and this rohe covers South Island, Chatham Islands, Stewart Island, and any other islands that belong to us. We were set up by the komiti matua of the Hāhi, one, to fulfill the prophecies that have been stated way back, to complete the work of Tahupotiki wire muratana and tirikatere. We are to complete it. That's our job. And we're talking treaty. Complete the work on the treaty. Manamotu hake, our rights. And the third one is the commercial. Find the whānau. Find the whānau in this rohe. If you have a pen handy and a paper handy, please take this address down. aroharc@extra.co.nz. Please contact me, or Rūnanga. Please contact me and give me details of your whānau who are morehu, who want to be morehu, who would like to be morehu. I don't care. But we want to find our whānau. Last thing, 8, 9 and 10 of December, our last Hāhi Wānanga will be here, starting at 5 o'clock on the Friday night. Come and enjoy what we do at our wānanga. Nō reira, kia koutou katoa, ko tēnei te mihi kia koutou, kia tauturangi Mārie, I roto I te matua te tamata wairua tapu, mea koutou ana hera pono, me te māngai he tautoko mai ai nei ake nei ai. Oh, hang on, I'll go back to the book now. Yeah. Ka mutu te kauhau ko tēnei inoi. E ngā ana hera pono whakaungia mai ngā kupu move the kupu tika o roto I tēnei kauhau. Ki roto ki ngā whatu manua o te mōrehu, hei painga mo te tinana, me te wairua, ki ngā wā katoa, ko te manga he tautoko mai ai nei, ake nei ai. Before we do mā te Mārie, eh? Yeah. Come and bless these, please. Eh? Okay. So long as you do it. Hymn number 54. O Waiata Whakamoemiti, number 54. Oh, yes. Oh
E te māngai e ngā nehero pono, e te tokuturu tapu. Kia tatu mai ana koutou ki waenganui ki tēnei whakamoimitu o mātou. Hei tatari ngā kupu katoa e whakapoakina ana e mātou i roto i tō koutou kororiatanga. Ko koutou nei hoki te timatanga me te whakaotinga mai o mātou e tūmanako atu nei i roto i mua tō koutou aro. Ho mai kia mātou, aroa mai, matu tama wairua tapu ane polo me te māngai. Whakahungia mai tō koutou aroha noa, ki ringa ki o mātou mātua, mātou whaia, mātou tamariki, me a mātou mokopuna. Kia koko hutia tō koutou wairua tapu, kia tūturu, tūturu, tūturu. Ki roto i o mātou tinana me o tātou wairua. Ki runga ana hoki rātou mā e noho ana i roto i ngā hohi pere. Rātou mā e noho ana i roto i ngā whare wairangi. Me rātou mā e noho ana i roto i ngā whare herehere. Manaakitanga, tia kina mai, ngā tau e takoto mai nei e mua i a mātou i tēnei rā. Kia tae atu ka tokorua nei ki te teitei o te maunga auraki. Manaakitanga e nei taunga kia tūturu, tūturu, tūturu. Mena ka kaha te tupu i a kaurua, ka kaha te mana me te wairua o Ngāi Tūāhuriri. Nō reira e te māngai, ko koe te kai tiaki, te kai manaakitanga mō mātou taunga e takoto mai nei ki mua i a mātou tēnei rā. Whakahungia mai tō koutou pononga wairua ki runga e te ingoa o te matua, te tama, te wairua tapu, me ngā anara pono, me te māngai, ai. E te māngai e ngā anara pono. Whakaungia mai tō koutou aroha noa, ki runga kia mātou, i ngā wā katoa. Aroha mai. E tuku ana ngā tēnei wā ki tō tātou reo.
Number 70 in your book, 70. Waiata mai. Whakaungia mai mātou I roto I tō koutou aroha noa. Paiheretia ki te rangi Māori e ngā wā katoa. Ko te māngai he tautoko mai, ai nei, ake nei, ai. Kia ora tātou. E noho. Kei a koutou tākerei. One more tune.
Kia ora everyone. Has anyone lost their phone? It is in my hand. If you have, please come and tell somebody that is wearing one of these t-shirts. Kia ora.
Why have we got these tools?
Kia ora tata te whānau. During the whakamuimiti this morning, you would have seen these two trees appear, and they're symbolic in that they are kōwhai rākau, that the whai o te katoa in their existence of 30 years, also this weekend, want to koha to Tuahiwi. Because the whai o te katoa, the band, were created here in Tuahiwi. So these rākau, in honour of their existence and their staying power for 30 years. So just so that you know, Awaha wasn't just standing here in amongst the bushes for nothing. They're symbolic of the existence of Te Whai o Te Katoa, our reo, our band of their 30 years. So that's what that is. No mai hara mai people who are all standing along the walls, they can stand themselves up. Come in, come in. Or have your conversations elsewhere. Morning, Auntie Pat. I didn't see you on the dance floor boogieing last night. Or did I? Well, I had a text from my mate, Betty Ann Munga. And as soon as I find it, she goes, "Morning now, mate. What a beautiful vibe last night in such excellent venue. Stunning. And the absolute best host for last night." So, aroha, another time again, mate. Aroha kia rata katoa. Betty Ann. So, not many people get a text from their talent that come here. So it was a really neat night. Were you there, Gerard? Where were you? Didn't see you sashaying along there. Or you, Tom? Southern valley in my dreams, mountain rise up to the sky, floating in a pool of water pure and warm, stone of green it turns to gold, kiss my skin, wash the pain away. South the valley, as a mountain needs the skies, there's a story there, there's a story there. Stone of green, crowns of gold, as it soothes my soul, there's a story there, there's a story there. Gotta walk the talk of my ancestors, walk the talk of my tipuna. Walk the talk of my ancestors, walk the talk of my tipuna. Walk the talk of my ancestors, walk the talk of my tipuna. walk the talk of my ancestors, walk the talk of my tipuna. Lonely river rushes to the sea, there's a story there, there's a story there. Stone of green turns gold as it soothes my soul, there's a story there, there's a story there. Gotta walk the talk of my ancestors, walk the talk of my ancestors, walk the talk of my ancestors, walk the talk of my tipuna. Walk the talk of my ancestors, walk the talk of my tipuna. Walk the talk of my ancestors, walk the talk of my tipuna. When the fire's dead and gone, and the people are too, who will call your name? Who will sing your song? Beyond the Moko there's another. Across the sea said he discovered my world, my mountain, my river, my valley. Smooth the pillow of a dying people away. Oh, whakatauwa, whakatauwa. Kia rangi etu nei, heke iho, o aka tipuna, maranga mai ai, ko te he kunikue, gotta walk the talk of my ancestors, walk the talk ta tawarangi hi, hu-ha-hi, no te pare kura, ko pū harake ke tapu ki roto, I tēnei ko haka karara, o Ngāi Tūāhuriri, Ngāti kuri kuia nei, ko te wakapaunamu, I whakaohia. Smooth the pillow of a dying people away. Kia ora tata katoa. Now, it feels like 30 years ago when that waiata was first composed. And it was just, probably around that time when both my mate, Mana Manipoto and Ngāi Tahu and a whole bunch of our cousins put that waiata together. And the beginnings of that was trying to find the names of our mountains, our rivers, our valleys. South of Valley, as the mountain meets the sky, there's a story there. Capture the stories behind all of these names. And we were trying to pull that together into a waiata so as to make it live and to make it resonate for those of us who are on this journey and doing our contribution way back then. So some of us might not get up and be able to haka like we used to back in the days, but it still has its poignancy and relevance today. Last Hui-ā-Iwi, when we were in Otako, fabulous occasion that was as well. And we heard from our next speaker. And it was so exciting to see that we've captured this into not only a contract or not only a project, but since then, 2 years ago, I can hardly wait to see what we've done with it, given the evolution of technology and so forth. And the guys then were so excited about what they'd already put together and what they were going to bring forward to 2017 will blow your mind. I expect it to be, particularly when you've got all sorts of elements. So it is really my deep privilege to be able to stand up here and welcome Tākare Norton and your team, your backbone, all of you. Get up here. Now hurry up, because I've been waiting for you for the last 2 years, because it's been exciting, that's for sure. Run, Higgins. Because it was the exciting stuff that was going on back in Otako. And so they've got an exciting presentation to inform you and how you can access those stories. What are you saying to me? Wrap it up or get off? Kia tere. So, I'm going. Hooray! Over to you, darling. No, mate.
Is this on outside? I'll do the old Ngāi Tahu thing. It's a bit low. Te Māria koutou. Before we start this session this morning, I invite all those Maoris standing outside to come in to the tent, because this is the only time they're going to see this presentation. Morena, tēnā koutou. Ki ka uri o te kohaka o Kai o Waro, ki ka hapu o Kai Tūhaitara, mea Tuahiwi, te mana whenua, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, ka hui hui mai tāta katoa. Hea paua mā, e tau mā e rauraka tēnā mā tēnā koutou, Auntie Pat, that's a racy looking machine, that one. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this session, which is in two parts this morning. The first part is that I'd like to introduce and acknowledge all of those sitting behind me, particularly Tā Tipuni and his team from Pai Korako, Tākarei and his team of Kaimahi from Te Rūnanga or Ngāi Tahu, who are involved in this project. At the Hui-ā-Iwi in Ōtākau, we presented the cultural mapping project. And today we complete that task by presenting you, our whānau, with your website. I mentioned in Dunedin all those years ago
that there was a reason, or a number of reasons, why we started the cultural mapping program. And that was because some of us weren't going to be around for a lot longer. And we decided there and then that we should ensure that all of that cultural information that we did not have available to us during the prosecution of Te Kereme before the Waitangi Tribunal, which started in this place all those years ago, was available to our future generations. And we've been able to complete that task to a standard where each of the regions now have in their hands their own cultural mapping reports in draft form for them to sign off on so that we can then add to the website. Secondly, part 2 of our presentation this morning is all about a book that has been produced by some of our kaimahi behind us. And this book, Tangata Ngāi Tahu, has been launched. It was launched formally at a function in Ōtautahi on Thursday night. But again, we would like to present that wonderful publication to you all. If your paua or toa or mother or father is not in that book, remember this is only the start of our journey. There's a long way to travel, and many of you may be in the book in the future. Kia ora tātou.
Kia ora no tātou, tēnei te mihi ki koutou, te mana whenua tō rohe nei, te Ngāi Tūāhuriri, tēnei te mihi. Kia ora no tātou, my name's Tākare Norton, and I have the privilege of speaking after David and as part of our ropu here, our archive team and the Pai Kōrako on the Kahuru Manu, our Ngāi Tahu cultural mapping website. Over the last few years, we've been researching and mapping Māori place names throughout the whole tribal takiwa, working with all of our different marae. And we've now been able to put that into a website, into a Ngāi Tahu digital atlas for our people to use for whatever you want to use it for. I'm going to play a short video. It goes about 6 minutes, and it gives an introduction into the whole culture mapping project and what it's all about. Then after that, we're going to look at all the place names that we've mapped, and then we'll do a live demonstration in the website. A few technical issues, but I'm sure it's all under control. So we'll play the video, and we'll be back shortly in about 5 minutes. Kia ora tātou.
A lot of people have asked me what cultural mapping is all about. And it's about gathering all that knowledge and those traditions and histories of our people across the whole rohe that we weren't able to collect and collate during the prosecution of the claim.
The basic reserves for Maoridom were set at the sea coast or around rivers and lakes where their natural food was.
And what's happened to all that land since then, Drew?
A lot of it has basically passed into European hands. Some of it is still retained by Maoridom, but not a lot.
The gathering of place names went on as I was going around finding evidence. When we found a whole list of place names, we would bring them in and throw them in a box so as we could go back eventually and have a look at what that all meant. The real issue about that is that the memory map, what was known to Maoridom in the very early days, because there was no written word, was the place names and the history and the stories and the mahi makai. So it was important to show where the history was and where all this mahi makai went on, and Udapas, old occupation sites, all that stuff. So that was pretty important, was to show how they viewed the land very early on, before they could write.
For Māori, and Ngāi Tahu in particular, and Tuahiwi Marae, the names are are more than just signposts in the landscape. Names carry heritage and history. They're what people call mnemonics. The name triggers a whole lot of associated memory. So the critical thing for us is there's so much of our naming in our landscape actually carries our heritage and our story.
The mapping project started out of tenure review. We were having a few troubles of the high country pastoral leases, and with the local maraes we decided to map all of our cultural values in the high country to give us better guidance on how we can protect our values. And then from there we extended the project to cover the whole of the Ngāi Tahu takiwā.
That technology is awesome. I mean, we never had that experience when we were growing up, and when you can actually ride a pauakai up the Waitaki Valley to our tipuna lakes and right up to Aoraki and over the top of the passes into Tahupotiki, that's pretty special. I mean, our pai sit and just watch in awe as you guys with all the technology can produce that stuff for us. It's amazing.
So the Ngāi Tahu Atlas, the idea for that came out of the Ngāi Tahu Cultural Summit held at Puketeraki in 2012, where our people explained that they wanted to create a digital atlas of Ngāi Tahu place names out of the culture mapping project. So since then we've been working towards creating a digital atlas of all of our place names throughout Tuahiwi Marae.
The technological advances have just streamlined it so much. It's just gone here leaps and bounds. And what have we got now? It's actually going to be a incredibly valuable tribal resource, but the process is just so easy to do now. All you need is someone capable of utilising, leading the technology, and the rest of us are just happy to bask in the glory of that being available.
When you look at the work that has been done on the cultural mapping, and you had to put that, say, onto an A4 sheet of paper, I would say you'd probably run into 100,000 pages. It is huge.
I have had people asking me questions about how we control it. I'm not sure if control a word. I think it's how we share it. How we share it so that it still is ours. I think in the past we have locked stuff up and not shared it. And we're actually trying to find that way of doing it now. We'll all have to sit down and think about it, but we probably will end up sharing it with the world. I get, but I think it will always be ours.
Probably more than I expected to happen. What I've got to thank is the people who have been confident enough to find material for us to add to it. That is a huge, huge help.
So about 5 years ago, Puketeraki, we got given the task of building a Ngāi Tahu Atlas. So that's been our focus for the last few years. But before we show you that, I want to show you all the work that we've done. So Adrian's going to bring up Google Earth with all of our maps we've mapped over the last few years. So as you can see there, every red dot is a place name. There's over 5,500 place names that we've mapped throughout the whole tribal takiwā. And Adrian will zoom around and get a bit closer. These are names of kāinga mahinga kai, rivers, lakes, mountains, pā. Every name must be referenced. We just don't go around and putting names on for the sake of it. Every name must have a reference, and they usually come from 19th century manuscripts, newspaper articles, oral histories, survey maps, maps drawn by our own tupuna. And if Adrian just slows down there, you see all these names will come up. And behind each name, there's a story and references to go with all that. But 5,500 names mapped, all in our database that sits behind the scenes. If Adrian, you bring up the trails. Nope, no trails in that one. Didn't try the BD map, Adrian. Here we go. Yeah, zoom into that one, bud. So here's a map of place names throughout Murihiku and Otago. This was drawn by Harry Beattie. Beattie was one of the biggest powerhouses of work on place names and histories, particularly down south. Every one of these names we've been able to map. Every name we found in a newspaper article, in a published book, and it's unpublished material. But every one of these names have been mapped with all of their marae down south. Do you want to bring up the 1880 map, Adrian? And zoom up to Canterbury. This map here was drawn in 1879, 1880, under the supervision of Hori Kere Taiaroa. It was for the Smithsonian Commission. And our people were mapping all of their kāinga mahi and kai, all of their kāinga nohoanga throughout Kempstead. Now, all of these names have been mapped as well. All of these names are recorded in separate notebooks. We've been able to work our way all through all those notebooks and map all of these names onto our mapping system. So with 5,500 names, we wanted to create a digital atlas out of that. And so for the last few years, we've been building a website to host this material. And we'll bring up my laptop if we can. So this is our website here, which has gone live this morning. On here, you can read about the different trails our people used. You can bring up the Ngāi Tahu Atlas, which has 1,000 place names on there. It also has the original Māori land allocations to our people. And you can read about the story, the project itself, and biographies of the key people who have helped us out. And I just want to show you what the atlas looks like in here. This is the atlas. And as you zoom in, names will appear. This here, this is the narrative behind the Wairua Native Reserve 887. These green lines, these are the trails that people used to use. You can click on a trail, and just here, there's a narrative about that trail. You click on a place name, up pops a narrative of that place name in the left-hand column. And as you scroll down, these are all the references to that place name. And so the idea is you can look at a place name, you can read it, you can understand it, and if you want to get more information about it, you can. You can go to each of these references. And all of these references that we've used, these are all now held in our archive. What we've been doing is going through external institutions, their libraries, different museums, and finding information pertaining to our history and putting it into our archive so we can make that knowledge much more accessible to our people. Up here's the search engine. So basically in here you can type a Māori place name, an English place name, or a reserve, or your address. But we'll go Pio Tahi, and it pops up. Click on that, and it takes you straight to Pio Tahi, Milford Sound. And as you can see, there's a narrative behind that name as well. And as you zoom out, you can see the other names that will come up around here. It's a little bit slow at the moment. And you can just work around, click on a name. Oh, try that one. It's all a bit slow. But in here we have 1,000 names you can research, use, and the idea is that this is just a starting block. Oops, cut out. Just go to Adrian, that's all good. Here we go here. So this is the website here. You can click in here. And you can read about the whole project and how it came about. Oh, no, it's cut out as well. Okay. These here are the different trails. You can click in here, and all the different trails will pop up. You can read about books and manuscripts relating to each of these different trails and that. But the other thing we've been doing as well is that we've been mapping all these place names. We always identify who the Ngāi Tahu informant is. Because what usually happens is that all the Pākehā historians and gatherers get all the mana and get all the credit for doing all this work, but it's our people that's giving them all this information and knowledge. So what we've always done is that where we can, we record and identify who the Ngāi Tahu informant is. And the idea is that you'll be able to click on that person's name and read a biography of that person. And this year, what we've been working on is a book called Tangata Ngāi Tahu, where we put together 50 Ngāi Tahu biographies. And in that book, there are some of the key place name informants. Rauri te Mamaru, Rauri te Mairi, te Huru, Iruira Puko Cameron. And the idea is that when you click on a place name, you can read about it, you can see the informant, have the book in your hand, and read about that person. And the whole idea is to create this network of Ngāi Tahu knowledge that sort of flows and connects all up together. So what we'll do now, we'll get Helen to present the Tangata Ngāi Tahu book. And if we get this up and running, I might come back and finish this off at the end. But I would like to thank all the whānau who have helped us out over the years. We've had numerous mapping hui. We've had jet boat rides, helicopter trips. We've gone boat trips everywhere around the island, just mapping place names, recording them. So thank you everyone for all their support. Te Pai Korako for looking after us over the last few years and guiding us through this journey. And our archive team as well, who this year not only have we installed an archives database, we've got this website up and running, and also produced a book, biographies book, Tangata Ngāi Tahu, and a calendar. So we've worked pretty hard over the years, so let's like to acknowledge the whole team for their hard work, and we'll get Helen to come up and talk about Tangata Ngāi Tahu. All good? Sure.
Atamairi e koutou katoa, he mihi mahana ki a koutou. My name's Helen Brown and I'm part of the archive team. Very proud to be part of the archive team, especially today. I'm going to talk to you briefly about Tangata Ngāi Tahu, the people of Ngāi Tahu, which we formally launched on Thursday evening at Coca Gallery in Christchurch. It's been the culmination of 10 months of hard work on the part of our team. And I'm going to reiterate much of what I actually said at the launch the other evening, so aroha mai if you were present at that event also. So Tangata Ngāi Tahu is the work of many hands through the collaborative efforts of Te Pai Korako, the archive team, wider Te Rūnanga o Ngāi Tahu staff and whānau. We have together produced a truly beautiful book. Whānau have been at the heart of the project, and many of you have been involved are here with us today. The front cover of the book, which you saw earlier, mirrors the walls in many of our family homes, Rūnanga halls and wharenui, where photographs of our tupuna watch over the activities of their descendants. These family galleries illustrate the whakapapa of Ngāi Tahu whānui. They connect the living with those who have passed away and are a focal point for conversation, memories, and storytelling. They are also treasured taonga, so when whānau started taking down precious framed portraits from their lounge walls for us to reproduce in the pages of this book, we knew Tangata Ngāi Tahu was destined to succeed. In early 2017, the Ngāi Tahu archive team and Bridget Williams Books agreed to work together to jointly publish a book of Ngāi Tahu biographies to coincide with the 20th anniversary of the Ngāi Tahu Deed of Settlement. In discussion with our team and Te Pai Kōrako, Tākare and I then embarked on the difficult task of selecting 50 people whose stories would feature in this, the first volume of Tangata Ngāi Tahu. Alongside some well-known tribal figures, we agreed that it was important to include those who were actively involved at a hapu or whānau level so that their contributions would not fade from tribal memory. Together, these people trace a diverse trajectory through time, kaupapa, geography and whakapapa. Among them are the ordinary yet extraordinary, and those whose status within the iwi is legendary. Despite warfare, colonisation, land loss, and the fight for te kiremi, these individuals continued to live, love, lead, create, protest, play sport, and gather kai. Many lived their lives altruistically, giving time, resources, and support to their whānau, hapu, and iwi, and more broadly to their local, national, and international communities. All are interconnected by whakapapa. Collectively, the biographies in Tangata Ngāi Tahu span 200 years of tribal history, shedding new light on some old faces and bringing others into the light for the first time. There are 50 of them, and I'm going to list them now. Whare Tutu Newton, Karetai, Tuhawaiki, Tōpi Pātuki, Te Huruhuru, Matiaha Tere Morihu, Rawari Te Mairi, Meriki Hirika Hape, Hori Kirei Taiaroa, Tohi Te Marama, Kuripohatu Ruru, Miri Hapa, William Te Paro Spencer, Tieki Pokurako, Hone Tare Tikau, Hoane Machu, Ameria Pōwhiri Hokianga, John Puao Rakiraki, Rahira Muriwai Morrison, Hariata Pitini Morera, Tione Matapura Ellison, Iruera Poko Cameron, Eva Skerritt, Rokura Gillies, Magda Woolscott, Tom Robinson, Frank Winter, Maury Pickering, Morris Pōhio, Bob Whaitiri, Ricky Ellison, Doug Sinclair, Alva Belsham, Bill Tōrepe, Kira Brown, Whare Tutu Sterling, Mahana Walsh, Iri Hapati Rehu Murchie, Marama Higgins, Kelly Anglam, Kath Brown, Maru Sterling, George Tio, Hienari Robinson, Bill Solomon, Maria Tinney, Anna Rouse, Kelly Davis, and our late friend and mentor in terms of the archives team work, Trevor House. The descendants, whanaunga, and friends of all of these people have been central to the creation of Tangata Ngāi Tahu. Interviews and conversations have taken place at kitchen tables from Rotorua to Awarua over numerous cups of tea. The research process has also involved hundreds of emails and phone conversations with Ngāi Tahu whānui throughout New Zealand and overseas. Working so closely with whānau has been one of the most rewarding aspects of the work. Family albums have been opened and shared, and many wonderful photographs appear in the pages of the book. We've been privileged to hear anecdotes and stories too numerous to squeeze into the constraints of 1,000 words. So each biography in the book is just 1,000 words. But yeah, many of the tipuna in these pages deserve an entire volume dedicated to their lives and achievements. So we acknowledge the enormous contribution from whānau and friends who have supported Tangata Ngāi Tahu. This is your book, Ngā mihi nui kia koutou katoa. In addition to the many photographs sourced from family collections and the Ngāi Tahu archive, a number of images have also been reproduced from libraries, archives, museums and other institutions in New Zealand and overseas. And as Tākare said before, that's been part of our work of the archives team, is finding material that's located in other institutions and bringing it into our archive, but then pushing it back out, making it accessible to Ngāi Tahu whānui. There's also been a huge amount of help from other archival institutions, libraries and museums throughout New Zealand, and a number of images in the book have been specially photographed. So taonga have been photographed, manuscripts have been digitised for the purposes of the book, but also to facilitate the ongoing access for other projects and to be brought into the Ngāi Tahu archive. Special thanks to the Ministry for Culture and Heritage for granting us permission to publish edited versions of 12 biographical essays from the Dictionary of New Zealand Biography, and we acknowledge the authors of those essays, Tipuni O'Regan, Raina Whaitiri, Ethel Anderson, Janet Winter and the late Harry Everson. Special thanks to Tipuni for his mentorship and for writing the foreword to the book, which provides a personal perspective and also articulates the aspirations of Te Pai Kōrako and the archives team in preparing this book. Also thanks to Mike Stevens, who wrote biographies for the book, but also prepared a short history of Ngāi Tahu whānau, which appears at the front of the book and appropriately sets the stage for the biographies that follow. Thank you to all of our other contributing authors, Kirsty Dunn, Robin Walsh, Roy Matakirikiri, Dan Bartlett, Angela Skerritt Tainui, Maiora Pukitapu Dentis, Emma Wyeth and Nicole Mackay. We're indebted to many people whom I won't list again now, but our huge thanks are due to Te Pai Kōrako for their ongoing guidance and support. There are copies of the book available at our stall. It's also available via the Ngāi Tahu bookstore. Really the central kaupapa of the work of the archive team is about making our knowledge and information accessible to Ngāi Tahu whānau, and that's why we're selling the book at cost price, so it's just $24.99. The book will retail in bookstores for $39.99. So it makes an excellent Christmas gift, we think. One final note regarding the book. Contributing authors include esteemed tribal historians, archive team staff, history students, and several whānau members writing for publication here for the first time. While all care and diligence has been taken in preparing the content for the book, there are multiple sides to every story, and it is perhaps inevitable that some readers will have recollections or knowledge at variance to what is recorded in the book. It is therefore our hope that the small glimpse of these tipuna that tangata Ngāi Tahu provides will inspire conversation and the sharing of stories and memories beyond the pages of this book. It's been an absolute privilege to work on tangata Ngāi Tahu, and I'm looking forward to working on the next instalment. As I said, a number of whānau members wrote biographies for the book, and I'm now going to ask Robin Walsh, who is one of those whānau members, to just give some personal recollections about her experience. Kia ora.
Kia ora koutou. On behalf of the whānau contributors to this fabulous book, Tangata Ngāi Tahu, I would like to take a few minutes just to thank Tākare Helen and my fellow archive team members, Tania, Jill, Liz, Morris and Dan, for the opportunity to write the biography of my mother, Dorothy Temahana Walsh, or Mana as she was more commonly known. I would also like to acknowledge the support and encouragement given to me by all of my brothers and sisters, especially Tama and Jennifer. Mum was a remarkable woman who lived a long and full life. It was a privilege to be in the position as an archives team member to be able to sit down and record an oral history interview with her in August of 2015. She was 92 years old. It still overwhelms me when I think that 6 short months later she was gone. I'm incredibly grateful that I was able to capture some of her oldest memories as she shared snapshots of her life with me, from when she was a baby of 18 months of age, right up until near the end of her life. Mum was always so wise and articulate. She was sharp as a whip, very knowledgeable and clued up about what was going on in the world of Ngāi Tahu. And she always managed to get her point across without being condescending or judgmental of others. It gives my whānau and I great pleasure to still be able to listen to her voice as she and I reminisced and talked about her life achievements together, or to hear her laughter as we stopped the recording for a visitor knocking on the door, or a break for a cup of tea and a scone that could quite possibly have been baked a few years before. Her voice is there for posterity, for all her mokopuna and the generations ahead. These biographies shared here in Tangata Ngāi Tahu are now timeless, written down for all to see and to remember. These people who shaped our iwi and who brought us to the place we are now, simply priceless. I hope when you read these biographies that you will be inspired and encouraged to sit down with your parents, grandparents, kaumātua and whānau, and to talk to them about their lives, who they were, what they did, whether they were statesmen or builders, teachers or PAs, like my late sister Nicola. Our mothers and fathers. It's like whakapapa, knowledge about ourselves, memories of the past that must not be lost and that links us all together. It's been a privilege and honour to now have my second piece of work published. This is so much better than my teenage angst poem, The Pain of Loneliness. Enjoy the book and happy reading, everyone. Ngā mihi nui, kia koutou.
Tēnā rā tātou te whare. Kai te mihi anō, kia tātou, mō tātou te rātapu nei. What you have been watching here this morning is a beginning. We're only making a start on the process of building a Ngāi Tahu search engine by which we can reclaim control of our own knowledge about ourselves, and what you're looking here is the foundations of that. I've written several times elsewhere that one of the things that happened to us in the 19th century was that Te kereme o Ngāi Tahu, the Ngāi Tahu claim, became our culture. We were so fixed with it for so long that in fact the primary expression of our culture was through the claim. And one of the things post-settlement we've had to do is to engage more fully in the business of reinventing ourselves, not locked in a grievance mode, but in a growth mode, and dreaming of what we want to be and how we want to be as a people. And as I've said before, now we're not crippled by the prospect of running out of muskets. Now, in this whole process of redevelopment of ourselves, one of the things we have to do is to conserve our knowledge as we go, and as well as recovering it. So the book you've just heard about spoken most eloquently. We hope every 2 years to do another 50 biographical essays. Right? And at the forthcoming meeting of Te Pai Korako, we will start the business of making the list of those 50 and organising the writers, because we don't want to be doing it under the pressure we've done it here. My thinking behind this, and the reason I've advocated it to my colleagues, has been I spent nearly a decade as the convener of the dictionary, the Māori editorial committee. I was the convener of that for the Dictionary of New Zealand Biography. And I was constantly aware of the fact that when the nation came to do its next Dictionary of New Zealand Biography, we should not be in the position where we were, where we didn't have the references. We didn't have the detail. People had lost the obituary notices. There was no record of people as they left. Now, I don't want to be in one of these things, at least until the 3rd edition, possibly. Because the general rule is you've got to be dead to get into one. And having had a rough year last year and survived that bullet, I've got no desire to bring it on again. But the important thing is that we've got to build the record as we go. This needs organisation, it needs system. And that's the systems that we are building as we build towards a Ngāi Tahu search engine. We have shown you today the volume of biographies. We have shown you the beginnings only of a Ngāi Tahu cultural atlas of our own rohe, of our own history. I irritated Tākare this morning by going immediately, when I wanted to see the app on my phone, I went immediately to Kaihinu, the first place we occupied in this island. Unfortunately, you see, is now under the mana whenua of Te Atiawa and in the Queen Charlotte Sounds. And Tākare has become incredibly culturally sensitive lately, so he hasn't put that into the map yet, because apparently we've got to go and ask the buggers. So much for cultural consultation and my general view of it. But the point is, we've got this kind of access which can give us a whole volume of references behind nearly every name. And we've got a lot to do. 5,000's not much. Just working through the Mahika Kai lists and references we've got from the Smithsonian Commission is another half a lifetime for someone to get onto that site. But beyond that, there's all the dialectical references, what our old people called Pākehā sailing ships, as distinct from North Island people did, what our people called a cat against what the others did. I once sat up at Tūhoi, at Hui-ā-Iwi Marae, and I said to her, "What te are? Hei ato iko tō karehene." And I pointed to the dog, you see, little puppy. And he looked at me and he said, "Hey, papi." I said, "Kia mātou, tā kurikuri." And I looked at the cat sitting on the sun by the front of the meeting house. I said, "Hey, hatena. Hengeru." To us, Naki, from the stalking movement. Different reasons completely. But when he said Hengeru, the next word he said, yeah, ki te whānau, he puti. And there's words like that. There's all those different words, 20-odd different words for snow and ice. In the North Island too. All these collections of facts about us, our plants, the origins and making of poha, our different names for stones, our knowledge of our own stone resources. All of this sort of knowledge gathered back in, pulled back in, recovered from archives, recovered from universities, recovered from other places, We don't own this knowledge, but we're its primary proprietors. It's ours because we are who we are in this place. And the whole idea of a Ngāi Tahu search engine is that we should control, as the primary owners, the knowledge that pertains to us. And regaining that and rebuilding it is actually means that you have rakatia, you have autonomy, you have control, and you have mana over yourselves. That's the dream. Culture must be cultivated. And we're here building tools for that. My message I gave you the other day is we must remember to remember, but we've got to keep working at it. What you have seen this morning is our beginning. A koutou katoa e paua mā e taua mā. Tēnei te mihi atu, tēnei te mihi atu. Kia ora tātou aoraki matatu.
Tahupotiki katoa ki konei e katoa ki konei taku manu tauhae.
Aoraki matatu, kia ora tātou te whare.
Morena te whānau.
Good morning, everyone.
How's everyone feeling? Just about at the end now.
Big night last night, Melanie.
It was a great night last night. If you were here, Marlon Williams, travelling to Paris right now, and following Marlon was?
Church. This morning, 9 a.m.
Yes, that's right.
They're all churched out.
Beautiful church service.
We have some prize packs to give away and a few things to do. So, Melanie?
In the stall areas, we've been running a number of competitions. So this is from Charisma this morning. This is hers. So lovely Charisma has put some notes together for me. In the stall areas, we've been running a number of competitions to let our whānau know about our businesses and particularly the employment opportunities that are available. Competition 1, there are 13 draws. Ngāi Tahu farming. We have a number of competition draws that we're going to do, and the first is Ngāi Tahu farming. They want to thank their sponsors, PG Wrightson, Meridian, Silver Fern Farms, John Deere, and particularly Fonterra. We're going to announce the prize and then draw the name out of the box. Can see Ben doing that right now. For the winners, go and see Nan at the Ngāi Tahu farming stall.
You want 13?
Draw number 1.
Draw number 1 is...
This is for PG Wrightson, $100 voucher and a Swazi top. Bridget. Kai konei koe, Bridget? No? Ka pai? Well, Bridget has left her phone number, so she's the winner of the PG Wrightson $100 voucher and Swazi top.
Winner number 2 is ticket number 57, Te Aroha Dakin.
That is for the Silver... Oh, kai konei? Yay! That's for the Silver Fern Farms voucher and boning knife set.
Ticket number 3 is... Geez, I can't make that one out.
Oh, okay. Ticket number 3, PG Wrightson, $100 voucher and a farmyard set. Goes to Cheryl, 58 Forbury Street, Dunedin. That's for Cheryl. Ticket number 4 is for another Silver Fern Farms voucher and boning knife. And that goes to Benjamin.
Ticket 74, Tilly.
Tilly.
Is Tilly in the house?
Carl, that's number 4.
If they're not here, we're not redrawing. They've got cell phone numbers and we'll contact them like that.
Number 5, for a John Deere tractor and baler toy.
I want that one. I want that one. The ticket number is 73 and the name is Riley. Do we have Riley in the house? We're not doing too good here, Melanie.
Ka pai.
Let's get someone.
Ticket number, so draw number 6, Silverfern Farms voucher and boning knife set again, goes to...
Ticket 70, Bridget.
Bridget again.
Bridget, no, maybe I'll read that one out
lucky
last.
Bridget,
no,
underneath here.
No, she's got 2. Auntie Pat drew those ones.
Draw number 7, the Dicky Toys crane and a Fonterra milk tanker toy.
Goes to ticket 61, Tui. Not Tui Fell.
Not Tui Fellwasser there, sorry, Auntie Pat.
So Tui, we'll give you a call.
Number 8, again, another Silver Ferns Farm voucher and 3 knife set this time.
Is ticket 41, Kauriki. Kauriki. K-A-U-R-I-K-I. Nope.
Ka pai.
We'll give you a call.
Number 9, Farmlands jacket and PG Wrightson $100 voucher.
Goes to Bella. Ticket 40, Bella.
Ka pai. Now, 10, 11, 12, and 13, so we have 4 draws all at once.
Yes.
Is a Meridian Energy Pack, and in that pack you get a pair of socks, a wheat pack, a hat, and a $200 voucher off your next power bill.
Feels like housey.
So we need 4 draws for that.
Yep, got them.
And the names are...
Ticket 05, Maria Allison. Maria Allison. Ticket number 80, David McCauley. David in the house. Ticket number 83 is Lewis Poe.
Ka pai, Lewis.
Lewis
He's
is
here,
in
I've
there.
seen him this morning.
Sweet. Those are the 4 there.
Ka pai, last one.
Ticket 69 is Malachi.
Malachi. That would be Malachi. That's awesome, e hoa. Well
Sweet.
done to all of you people who have won prizes from the Ngāi Tahu farming stall this morning. The competition number 2, Ngāi Tahu Holdings. There is a photo booth competition running all weekend, and in this orange bag, we have a whole lot of photos of tamariki whānau who have shared with us what they want to be when they grow up. So I think I remember rightly, I was looking at my husband's one, Matthias Pitama, he wanted to be a fireman. Anyhow, let's go because there are 3 draws and each draw is worth $200, a gift card for $200.
So first one, we got the camera on us?
Troy. Have we got the ability to have a camera shot right on Troy or not? Okay, so Troy said, what I want, he wants to be a worker when he grows up.
I want to be a worker when I grow up.
Ka pai, Troy. So 3 prizes to give away, gift cards worth $200 each. We got another one here, Vania.
Sophia.
Sophia?
Oh, that's Ra's kids. Where's Ra? Ra Dallas?
He was here before. Turn it around. And what Sophia hasn't said what she wants to be, though. I'm just going to say she wants to be a princess.
Daddy's girl.
Okay?
I'm sure we'll find him.
And then the last prize draw goes to a Casey Ashton.
Ashton?
Yes, and Casey wants to be a student forever. Okay, this is the main competition, and I'm just going to
got one more here. It's IRD. IRD draw.
Okay, IRD.
So this is the IRD draw for anyone that has put their name down. Inland Revenue Gift Hamper goes to Jim Grinnell.
Awesome.
Jim
Yay.
Grinnell. So I'll give that bit to you. You got it? What's that one?
Oh,
let's
wow,
go
there's a
there.
wheelbarrow over here just in front of Mrs. Bergman. And it has a whole lot of things in it. I'm not quite sure, I can't see exactly, but it's full of goodies. And there's 1 draw for that. Vania's coming along to somebody.
Brilliant. I got it. goes to Maria Mahuika, or Marie Mahuika.
Ka pai, there's someone who can take it back for her?
It's got a cell phone number on it.
Awesome. Okay, awesome, whānau. We've got one more, I think, major prize, and we're going to bring somebody up onto stage for this one. It's the Ngāi Tahu Tourism Prize. So there are two, and it's been drawn with a computer. So Ngāi Tahu Tourism have two major prizes which they're giving away to whānau today. A weekend away for two in Queenstown, flights and accommodation, and a chance to experience our tourism products while you're there. So, I'm going to ask James to announce the winner of the Queenstown trip.
Ka pai, kia ora koutou. So, the winner for the Queenstown competition is Alvina Edwards.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ho mai te paki.
And the Rotorua flights, the Rotorua prize pack, which includes flights, accommodation, a Rainbow Springs Day Pass and behind-the-scenes Kiwi Encounter Tour, a backcountry adventure, farm tour and a farm show, and the adrenaline rush at the Hooker Falls Jet.
Woohoo! So, the winner for that one, the Rotorua prize pack, is Susie Clark.
Ka pai. Ai, paki mai koutou. You're on now.
Auntie Susie. Awesome. So heaps of wonderful prizes throughout the weekend. We know there's been draws happening each day. Been so many giveaways. Very thankful. And a lot of people are taking home prizes. Next, we're going to a presentation from the Waimakariri District Council to Rūnanga o Ngāi Tūāhuriri. We've got the Mayor and the CEO of the Waimakariri District Council here. So would you both like to come and join us, David and Jim, who are going to present to Tamaire and Auntie Aroha. So come on stage, Auntie. Okay. Whoa, running up this.
I ngā rangatira mā, i ngā iwi, hui mai nei, tēnā koutou katoa. Ko Mangatiri te maunga, ko Rakahuri te awa, ko Ngāti Pākehā te iwi. No Ototahi o hou, kei rangiora taku kāinga i ai nei, ko Zealandia te waka, ko David Eza ho, no reira tēnā koutou katoa. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge all the rangatira here and all the visitors, and those who are not from this district. I'd like to welcome you to the Waimakariri district on behalf of the people of this district. It's an auspicious occasion, and it's wonderful that you have chosen this marae in our district to be the occasion of this very important hui. So it's been great to have you here, and thank you for having us as part of the Pōwhiri on Friday. It's an important time for you all, I know, and I've heard Tamari talk about, these are my words, not his, but a crossroads perhaps in the history of Ngāi Tahu. And all I can say is that I'm old enough to be probably in your kaumātua tent just on age, if nothing else. But there will be many crossroads. There have been many crossroads in the past, and there will be crossroads in the future. But nevertheless, these times are times to seize and take the opportunities. Looking back over the last few years, this has been a time of challenge for our community here in Tuahiwi and in Waimakariri. because of the earthquakes, but also a time of opportunities to seize. And we've been gratified to be able to work alongside Ngāi Tūāhuriri in particular, but also Ngāi Tahu in general, in taking hold of these opportunities. The challenges, of course, have been around the earthquakes and the future development of what we now call the regeneration areas in Kaiapoi and in Pines and Kairaki, but also issues around water and so on. There's plenty happening in this district. We're one of the most important partnerships that we've had with Ngāi Tūāhuriri and Ngāi Tahu has been in Te Kauaka Tuaitara Trust. Te Kauaka Tuaitara Trust was set up under the Settlement Act and has been in existence for about 20 years. I was one of the first trustees, and along with me on that trust board was Rick Tau, Tamari's father. And in those very early days, we were still sorting out the deed and so on, and not much happened on the ground. But I remember Rick talking about a long-term vision. And these are my words because it's a long time ago and I can't remember exactly what he said. But he seemed to, looking back, he seemed to be saying, we have been here for a long time. Our Ngāi Tahu and Ngāti Mamoi and Waitaha ancestors have been here for a very long time, and we're going to be here for a long time in the future. And I would say from my own personal view, my own personal situation, that my ancestors have been here since around about 1858, 1860. And their descendants are going to be here for a long time too. So that spirit of partnership is going to be very important as we look forward to the future. Te Kauaka Tuaitara Trust has developed a 200-year vision for that coastal area between the Waimakariri River mouth and pretty well the Rakahuri mouth, and it's a very important part of our district. And things have started to happen on the ground, which didn't happen in Rick's and my day because of the sort of the legal stuff we were trying to sort out and get settled. But when I was on the trust, I could only see Tutaipatu Lagoon from the air as I came into Christchurch Airport on the odd occasion. I couldn't get to it. I'd never seen it. It was just choked with willows. It was just the lagoon itself wasn't choked with willows, but all the boundary around it was. You couldn't get to it easily. But these days you can get to it, and you can see it, and it's a wonderful part of our district, and a credit to the trust and the people who have both been on the trust and working for it. So to commemorate those 20 years, the Waimakariri District Council and the people of Waimakariri would like to present to Te Ngāi Tūāhuriri this taonga. And I'd like to present that to our kaumātua aroha and to Tamari as upoku Rūnanga of this Rūnanga. And while they're unwrapping, I'd just like to acknowledge the work of Jim Palmer, our CEO, and my wife Marilyn, who's here, and I think I can see a couple of councillors around as well, acknowledging this important occasion.
Well, Jim, thank you David, Jim, thank you very much. And it's a real taonga for us. And excuse my back, sorry, I'll just come around this way. I just want to say something about this. Now, this was an old lagoon no one cared about. The Wildlife Bird Society wanted to drain it in 1973. A commercial eeler was contracted in 1973 to go in this lagoon and take all of the eels because it was killing all the birds. And in 1973, our last upoko previous, Pani Manawatu and our elders, I still have the minutes, they sent a petition praying to the council. And that was the word, they prayed to the council to restore this. If you look at this, there's an old tradition with Tutai Patu. When you go in, you go from the wood end side, you come from the east. And you come from the east because when you look across there, our ancestors are buried in the Raupo boom. Just beyond that one, and not that one in particular, but just about half a mile away is Tūrakotahi buried. And that's called Te Kōpi. So this really is a treasure, and to the Waimakariri District Council, thank you very much.
Kia ora, thank you, David. Thank you, Jim. Just as a segue to that, we actually had a tūhaitara tour this morning. So Joseph Hullen and some of his crew took a bus load out this morning, and they've actually just got back from that tour. So thank you very much. Next, we're moving on to our next presentation, which is form and function. We're running not bad to time. It's 20 past 11, so we are only running 20 minutes late, which is pretty good. We've run ahead of time all week. From the very first day, we ran a half a day early, setting up the tents and the marquees. On the first day, we were running 15 minutes early. Today, on the last day, we're 20 minutes late, but that's okay. We've got to fit a lot into this last little bit. The Form and Function Working Group we've formed for the best governance practices. They were led by the Lisa Tumahai, the Kai Whakahaere, and chaired by Susan Wallace. They are here today to present a consultation document for Papatipu Marae and whānau for feedback. Please put your hands together for the Form and Function Group.
Sorry, technological hitch. Oh, there it is. Au kia ora tātou, Ngāi Tahu whānui, nau mahara mai, tahuri mai o tāriki ki kia mātou nei e kōrero nei mō tēnei ara kia nuku whakamua te kāwanatanga o te runanga o Ngāi Tahu. Hoi anō e te whānau, tēnā koutou katoa. I'm just going to speak briefly and give you an overview of what Form and Function is all about and what we hope to be able to do with you all in the very near future. Basically, after our last 20 years, there's been 2 or 3 times when we've had to stop and reflect and deliberately design our next steps, and this is one of those times. We have looked at our governance practices particularly, not a lot else. There are some other big strategic initiatives going on that Lisa's discussed yesterday, but this is particularly about how we operate as a table, what we see as a priority, how we engage with each other, and how we engage with the iwi. And very soon it's our intent to come out and speak to you. And Susan will talk about how we're going to try and communicate both with iwi whānui, the entire 50,000 plus, but also how we're going to try and engage more directly with the Rūnanga and the active Rūnanga members over the next few months. What we're particularly wanting to talk about is the issue of iwi engagement. We are not convinced that we've got the most effective communication processes in place. We think in some instances we've lost a bit of communication with some of our leaders on the ground that aren't necessarily finding ways for the message to get to Te Rūnanga about what their aspirations are and how we could work together more collaboratively to achieve them. We have these sorts of forums from time to time, and otherwise there's a very narrow pathway through each rep from the Rūnanga and random engagements that the staff sometimes are expected to manage. So that's definitely a priority. How do we move together more effectively as an iwi with the many moving parts that make up Ngāi Tahu? One of the things which I'm quite passionate about is this idea of tikanga. One of the things that we've done over the years is adopted many different practices, often drawn from Western models of governance or management. And it was quite inspirational for me earlier this year to see the Māori Business Awards, how some of the iwi organisations have taken different pathways and perhaps more focused on values and tikanga than is obviously the pathway that Ngāi Tahu's taken. Certainly the processes we've taken have served us well thus far, but we're at a point of maturity where we want to stop and revisit that and ask, how is it that we can ensure that the tikanga is given life within our boardroom debates, within our decision making, within our processes for resolving conflict, all of the things which our old people had methods of successful methods, but we haven't necessarily adopted within our own frameworks. Which of course also leads on to values which have driven the organisation since its inception, and the question has been put to us, are they still the values that we intend to guide us for the next 25 years? And so that's something we want to engage with the iwi on as well. Have we got the right values in place? Are they practical? Are they serving us well? There's also been a number of questions raised about the appointment process, and of course those of you that have been following Te Rūnanga for the last 25 years will know that this has been a question raised over and over again, whether or not the electoral college type system that we've got is the best one. We've looked at the outcomes, and it's really interesting. We've got a good balance of ages and experience and gender at the table, so we're certainly delivering something which seems to be working, if that's what we're striving to achieve. But the question needs to be put, is there a better way to do it? A number of people have argued about direct voting for a number of years. The Rūnanga sometimes feels disjointed from the electoral college, and is that the best way for us to be giving effect to our appointment process? And te kaitia me te tāhuhu, which is governance and organisational development, as outlined in Ngāi Tahu 2025. That's basically an opportunity to review the things that we have said we wanted to achieve by 2025, considering we've only got 7 or 8 years left until we reach that point. How much have we achieved? How much is still relevant and important, and what do we need to do to realise all of the important outcomes that we'd hope to achieve when we put that document together some 15 or 18 years ago. So that's the general overview of what it is we're trying to engage on, and Susan's going to talk to you about how it is we're going to do that. Kia ora.
I aku nui, I aku rahi, raurakatira mā o Ngāi Tahu whānui. Nei te mihi aroha o kāti mahaki ki a koutou katoa, no reira tēnā koutou. The Form and Function Review is a really exciting kaupapa, and it seems really fitting that this year, as we celebrate 20 years since the settlement, that Te Rūnanga o Ngāi Tahu review and reflect on our governance structures and look at what our kaiwhakahaere Lisa referred to yesterday as the good, the bad and the ugly. There have been a number of reviews. We've drawn on a lot of findings of the collective knowledge of the table of previous Te Rūnanga o Ngāi Tahu representatives, and we've also drawn on external advice. But the missing ingredient has been the voice and the aspirations of Ngāi Tahu whānau. Today we're really pleased to be sharing with you all how we hope to capture your voice and to engage you as Ngāi Tahu whānau. We acknowledge that over 60% of our whānau live outside of Takiwā. We also acknowledge that we need to use all of the tools we have available now, but we also need to investigate and to identify more effective ways for Ngāi Tahu whānau to engage and to give feedback. We want to provide enhanced opportunities for wider debate and inclusion of Ngāi Tahu whānau in our decision making. We know when you look at these lists of 6 kaupapa that we've identified for this first tranche of consultation, probably don't look very exhaustive to you, but we feel that by starting at this point, we know that you'll be able to get some valuable information that will help us to make the change and to build and improve on what we do today, and hopefully to guide us for the next 20 years. So the consultation document is due to come out before Christmas. We're going to be using a range of tools. There's online. For those who don't want to respond online, our 0800 number will be available for whānau to be able to, give verbal feedback. We're also organising forums through our Papatapu Rūnanga, and there will be regional hui available as well. So a lot of that information will come out before Christmas. I guess what I'm wanting to do is really, really encourage you to let your whānau know that this is happening. There'll be more information on our webpage, and just to encourage you to join us on this journey as we look to the future. Kia ora koutou.
Kia ora koutou. So a very important kaupapa, and we really urge that you do get involved with understanding what it is we're seeking from you. We're seeking your participation in a consultation process which looks at the future governing structure of Te Rūnanga o Ngāi Tahu. So the governing board of Te Rūnanga, but not only that, how do we engage the leaders around our regions in tribal affairs? What role should the paipai from our 18 papatipu play? What role should our rangatahi forum play? We're looking at also engaging a kaumātua forum, a kaumātua kahui. So we're wanting your feedback on what you think about those kinds of things, and should we have them or not. So I urge you to all engage in the process, and if you're not wanting to do the online survey, but you'd rather give your views back through your Tront representative, we will be establishing a process where Tront reps will come to your Papatipu Rūnanga meeting, talk through the form and function process. We'll have staff there with us, and there'll be a whole engagement process that will also happen face to face. So as Susan said, it is an exciting time. It's a time for evolution, a time for change, and a time for us to also look at how we engage better, communicate better, improve upon the things that we're hearing Ngāi Tahu whānau ask for over the last 12 months. So without any further ado, the Form and Function Committee, who have been putting in a lot of effort since April, with Gabriel Huria, Matapura Allison, Susan Wallace, Tahupotiki, Joe McLean, and missing today is Terry Nicholas. A piece of work that did come out of the Form and Function Committee earlier this year was the review of the role of the kai whakahaere and the deputy kai whakahaere, and a review of the remuneration of that role. So that's the first start in making some changes at a governance level. Those things will be reviewed again once we've finished the Form and Function consultation process to ensure that we've got it right. So we do need your participation, and I look forward to listening to the next group, which is our rangatahi, who are going to come up and inspire us. That's our future, and that's what we need to be mindful of, and making sure we're fit for purpose and relevant, because if we're not relevant to them, we've got something completely wrong. So thank you so much. Looking forward to mingling with you the rest of the day. I hope you've had a wonderful hui, and the whakawhanaungatanga seems very strong, and there was a lot of dancing on the dance floor last night, so I know that you all had a wonderful evening last night. Big mihi to Ngāi Tūāhuriri. I think we'll be doing that later on again, but while I've got the podium, te maire and the whānau, thank you. So thank you, whānau. Kia ora. Oh, they reminded me that what I was actually supposed to be doing was asking if you had any questions. Wonderful. You're all happy. All happy? Great, thank you. Kia ora. Kia ora.
Kia ora whānau. Sorry about the intermission there, the 3 minutes of intermission. However, we are moving on to, there's a couple of announcements to be made. The first one is there was a whānau survey done, and the winner of that whānau survey was Margaret Bishop. So if there is a Margaret Bishop, or you know a Margaret Bishop, could you please send her out the back here to backstage to see Jennifer or Blade. The second competition here on my phone that I need to announce. There are three prize draws for this. This is from the Ngāi Tahu Funds form for the Cultural Leadership Database winners. Third place goes to Mervyn Kitto for $50. Second place goes to Margaret Jones, $100. And first place, to come in, all three of you to come and see Jennifer just at the back of the stage. First place winner is Chanel Toms, $150 prize. So let's give those winners a big round of applause. And while you're doing that, we are going to welcome on stage Te Pōkaiao. Te Rangapu Pōkaiao, if you would mind making your way to the stage now. You are going to be up here behind me about to tell us all and share with us all about your amazing trip to Silicon Valley in San Francisco in the second week of the latest school holidays. A big group of 20 rangatahi, and you can see them coming up the middle now. Beautifully dressed, might I add. What wonderful ambassadors they are for the iwi of Ngāi Tahu. Tēnā koe te rau. Tēnā hoki koutou. I'm sure they were briefed about looking lovely for everybody today. Now, I can talk a little bit about this trip because my own daughter, Hallie, was actually one of the recipients of the scholarship, being able to go to San Francisco and Silicon Valley. And they are going to share with you, along with the kaiako that also attended, what they did while they were on that trip. Let's give them, and I can see lots of mums and dads. Don't be shy, mums and dads. Come to the front if you want to take some photos. Let's give them a big round of applause. Welcome Te Pōkaiao onto stage.
Just go check. All right, sweet, yes. Ko rangi awatea ki runga, ko papatahoroa ki raro, ka heke, ka puta ko ngā tini asua Māori, me o rātou uri, tai atu kia tātou, te ira tangata, ke te mihi au kia rātou. E te tini, e te mano, o ngā kawairanga tira, ko takoto ki ngā reke o ngā tipuna maunga, huri no i te motu, takoto mai rā oki oki, o tira kia tātou katsua, nei a kupu whakamiha kia riri. Tēnei au, he uri whakaheke i a hine matsua e mihi ana. Ko tāna sakaria tōku ingoa. tēnā koutou. Ko hui mai tātou I runga I te karanga o te kaupapa o te Hui-ā-Iwi o Ngāi Tahu, kia whakatairanga hia ngā hua o ngā kaupapa maha. Nā ia mātou ngā rangatahi o te rangapū tuarua o te pōkai ao, e whakapuaki ana I ngā hua o te haeringa ki Amerika ki te pōkai I te ao. E toru ngā kaupapa whakahirahira, hei whakaaroaro mā tātou. Tuatahi, te mauri o te wai, ara, te oranga o para whenua mea. Tuarua, te hurihanga o te āhuarangi. Koera ngā pēhitanga kia rangi rau ko papa. Kāmasu ko te tuatoru, te kote o mau kupenga o Kaitahu. Te tumuheringa waka o te iwi meki. E te iwi, are mai o tā ringa ki ēnei manu korihi, manu koroki, e whai ake. E whama, ka pū te ruha, ka hao te rangasahi, tū ki te tahi.
Kia ora koutou, ko Onaku te marae, ko Catherine Wiki-Arapeta, tōku ingoa.
Kia ora koutou, ko Luka tōku ingoa, ko Tuahiwi te marae. We are the tuakana of 2017 Te Pōkai. Last year, me and Catherine had the amazing opportunity to travel to San Francisco and Silicon Valley with the 2016 group, and it was one of the greatest adventures of our lives, going to amazing places, meeting amazing people, gave us new experiences, and everything we did developed new valuable life skills. So when we were both chosen to be tuakana for this year's trip, it was important to us that we make sure all the students take everything they can out of this trip, just as we did. Like last year, we stayed in San Francisco and visited Silicon Valley, which is home to many startup companies and is well known as the worldwide capital of innovation.
Through workshops in these companies, the journeys through all the science and technology museums, and the people we met inspired us to think creatively, come up with new ideas, leadership skills, and bravery that comes with venturing to the other side of the world. But most importantly, the experience strengthened the bond of family between us all. However, this incredible journey was only the beginning of opportunities to come, and the goal of Te Pōkai is for the students to apply the skills learnt and developed on this trip to helping find solutions for problems within our whānau, our iwi, and our country. And every year, as the Te Pōkai whānau grows bigger, the next generation of Ngāi Tahu, creative thinkers, innovators, and potential leaders grows larger.
Piki ake ana hau ki ngā taumata o āku tūpuna. Ka te tiro iho ki muri huku, o aku mau ngā kārangaranga e ko takitimu e. Kia ora, kumaria tini tōku ingoa. One of the biggest effects that climate change has in our country right now is rising temperatures. Warmer temperatures will alter habitats critical to some of our species, increasing the risk of localised extinction, to more specifically our native birds. Rite ki te moa kangaro. Most native manu in New Zealand are based and from Te Waiponamu, so this affects our iwi and Māoritanga just as much as it would anyone else, if not more. We are aware that Ngāi Tahu have quite a few sanctuaries around New Zealand that help our Māori birds. And as rangatahi who want to see growth in our country, this has influenced us to want to see and do more. Climate change is one of the biggest issues in the world right now. The sooner we prevent our country from letting it be exceedingly terrible, the safer we can be culturally, socially, and environmentally. Seeing and experiencing all the innovative ideas that Silicon Valley has to offer for the benefit of the world has opened our eyes to the future, technology, and what it can do for us in New Zealand and as a iwi. Kia ora.
Kia ora, ko Waiwera tuku marae, ko Iwa Tahiwi tuku ingoa. Silicon Valley is the epicenter of innovation, creativity, and simply getting stuff done. Silicon Valley is one of the few places in the world where amazing people improve the same. Te Pōkai showed me how science, technology, engineering, and mathematics
or known as STEM, could be applied into our business and society, and this was especially the case for climate change. I saw biotech at NASA, heard about agtech at Google. They are using clean tech at Intel, and globality using green tech with small businesses and expanding them into larger ones. I saw how Ngāi Tahu businesses can find the right people, the right technology, and the right application to help us tackle the climate change future. I'm especially motivated to be a part of an iwi that seeks to be the forefront technological and digital innovation relevant in a broad sense of Ngāi Tahu whānau. Thank you very much to Ngāi Tahu for my experience in exposing me for what Silicon Valley has to offer. Kia ora.
Kia ora, ko ole tuku ingoa, ko Tuahiwi Marae. Water keeps us alive and is a vital part of our lives. Water is the essence of human sustainability. Water is also home to fish, which feed us. Since water is so important, we need to ensure that it stays clean. Earlier on this year, while doing my Te Pōkaiao homework, I came up with the idea of a robotic fish that can clean up our waterways and ensure its ongoing cleanliness and health. The robotic fish have the ability to capture plastic and turn it into its own fuel. They also have the ability to read the pH levels and detect any evidence of E. coli or any other harmful bacteria. While at the second marae noho, I shared my idea and we used it for a task that we did, which was creating a sales pitch. Being around others that had innovative ideas helped me to become more innovative. My Te Pōkaiao whānau have given me the confidence to not only believe in my own abilities, but to also believe that us as Ngāi Tahu rangatahi have the capacity and focus on our future to ensure that Ngāi Tahu will lead the way and continue to prosper for generations.
Kia ora, ko Nina Huriaho, ko Tuahiwi Marae, ko Tuāhuriri te hapu. We should be able to take pride in our awa for being clean and fresh. This is a challenge. Ongoing research from the Auckland University Institute of Marine Science has shown that out of 8 fish species that are common in Aotearoa, only one of them didn't eat plastic on a regular basis. Is this the footprint we want our iwi to leave? Is this the footprint that our tupuna will want our iwi to leave? Te Pōkaiao gave me cognitive tools that can be put to service for the iwi. For example, I'm now thinking and improving on ideas and solutions for problems I am passionate about solving, such as the quality of our awa. An idea I put forward recently was a ciliate drain grate to go underneath the regular drain grates to catch all of the rubbish that hasn't been caught. To avoid the problem of flooding, which may be caused by rubbish build-up on the side of the sieve-like drain grate, we would make it a square shape so that there is still room for the water to escape. Generations before ours have been faced with the challenge of lessening pollution, water pollution, and now it's our turn. Kua tākoto te manuka. The challenge has been laid down.
Kia ora. Ko J taku ingoa, ko Tuahiwi Marae. I want to talk about iwi connections and to give you my point of view on them. I felt lost from the iwi ever since I moved out of Christchurch to Auckland. I can remember some things like my granddad, John Ryan, showing me how to carve pounamu at the back of his garage or going to a marae in Christchurch. But that was it. I felt lost from iwi until this trip where I reconnected with my whakapapa. I believe that this is a dangerous situation Ngāi Tahu has. The situation, youth like me losing their connection with the iwi, Ngāi Tahu. I can see Ngāi Tahu has seen the problem and are making efforts to stop it, like this trip I went on. And it works. And I believe from the knowledge that me and my peers have gained on this trip that Ngāi Tahu could make an online platform like Facebook, but for the iwi. I know this is just an idea, but we have to target this problem with all our strength, so that youth like me don't lose their connection with the iwi. Ngāi Tahu.
Kia ora, ko iwi toku ingoa, ko te rau araha te marae.
I'm proud to stand here with my Te Pōkaiao whānau. Te Pōkaiao is a gift in so many ways, but to me one of the most important has been iwi connection. For me, connection with my iwi is important because culture is a fundamental building block in identity. A strong cultural identity, supported by connection to our iwi, is essential to our sense of who we are. I began this journey disconnected from Ngāi Tahu, and I didn't even really feel Māori. I was raised in Nelson, away from my marae and away from my extended whānau. Taking up this opportunity, I was really nervous. I had tried to connect in my own ways, but I was worried that I wouldn't be as authentic as everyone else. But right from the first noho, my fears were unfounded. For me, Te Pōkaiao was not only a journey to Silicon Valley, it was in a way a journey to connection. It has given me a sense of belonging and pride in our iwi. I knew the hard thing was going to be maintaining the connection I had made when I'm not surrounded by Ngāi Tahu, but I found that technology and media has a huge part to play in keeping that connection. I'm so glad that I took the opportunity to connect with my iwi, and I'm grateful for the efforts Ngāi Tahu are making to keep people like me connected. We're now going to show a video that we've put together.
E ka aitaka a Tahupotiki, nei a kupu whakamiha e rere kau atu nei, tēnei mātou o te rakapu tuarua o te Pōkaiao e o whātu ana, e aha kūnui, e aha kūrahi, raurakatira mā tēnā koutou, kia ora mai tātou katoa.
Te Pōkaiao is an investment in the leaders of tomorrow, our rangatahi. Te Pōkaiao supports rangatahi to engage and explore STEM subjects, science, technology, engineering and maths. Inspiration is drawn from the traditions of innovation and transformation of our tipuna as we explore these subjects from a kaitahu perspective.
In preparation for our haringa, we went to two noho marae to strengthen our kaitahutaka and build whanaukataka before travelling to San Francisco, Silicon Valley to visit and discuss these subjects with companies, universities and academics who are leading the way in STEM and innovation.
This initiative will support, nurture and develop our rakatahi.
Mō tātou, a mō kauri, a muri a kenei.
In October this year, we had the privilege to travel to Silicon Valley. Here is a clip of our trip.
On behalf of Te Rakapu Tuarua, we would like to thank Ngāi Tahu for this amazing opportunity. Our community of digital natives is growing and we are focused on making a difference for our iwi. Watch this space. Kia tū ki te tai. We stand as one.
Ka whakamutu atu me te mihi māoha, te mihi honore, te mihi whakawhetai, ara te mihi aroha ki te iwi. Nā tō koutou I reka ngā kanohi I whakatinana I o mātou wawata, anō hoki ki o tātou nei wawata mo te iwi me te motu o Aotearoa nei. Kua whea ko mātou te ao pūtaiao, te ao hāngarau, ara te ao tūturu nei. Ko tērā haerenga, he haerenga ka kore rawa e warewaretia. Anō hoki he haerenga ka mau atu ki ngā mea katoa I akongia. Kua tokona he whakaro mō tātou wawata I te āmua. Nā reira, kia koutou a Ngāi Tahu, e mihi nei, e maioha tia nei. Mōhio tūturu ana mātou, ko wai mātou, ko Ngāi Tahu mātou. Tātou. Nā reira, e aku rau rangatira, me oku uri, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā rā tātou katoa.
Kia ora. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 cell phones lined up here, so you can tell it's a rangatahi presentation. Look, that was absolutely wonderful. Thank you all for sharing your experience, and it identified for us that what you shared with us and what it meant to you, we've hit the right spot for what we need to be doing. And a few tears in our row down at the governance row down there that I'm sitting in, because it just makes us feel good that we've done something that's so valuable to you as well. I want to acknowledge your tutors. If we could have your tutors come forward. Haere mai. So these are the wonderful team that they actually get to go on the hikoi with our rangatahi and take care of them. And they manaaki. The group doubled in size this year, so they had quite a job ahead of them. But thank you so much for taking care of our taonga while they were overseas, living it up in San Francisco. But just, yeah, I think everybody has had a wonderful feeling from the presentation that we've just had, so thank you so much. These students are year 9 and 10, and the kōrero, the quality of the kōrero that came out of them is just absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Kia ora.
Tēnā koutou ngā rangatahi me ngā pauako te pōkai ao tēnā hoki koutou. Whānau, we have another rangatahi group who have worked relentlessly for the past 19 weeks to bring together the rangatahi space over at Tuahiwi School. There has only been 6 of them who have been leading this kaupapa. Every week they've met once or twice a week for 2.5 to 3 hours to bring together, pretty much on their own, what was provided for the tamariki and rangatahi over at the school. So they had things like the Angry Bird, they had to ring Vodafone, they had to liaise with the Bouncy Castle people, they had to liaise with Pack and Save and Countdown to get all the kai. They had to speak to people about funding. They had to there's a massive long list of the things that these guys have had to do. And I just want to welcome them to stage one by one. If we can give them a big clap at the end. Jada Pitama, Madison Brennan, Te Mātaura Te Aika, Hallie Pitama, Simone Pitama, and Hui-ā-Iwi Cox. Let's give these guys a massive clap and a big thank you from us to you guys.
Hello. So over the past 19 weeks, we've met at Nicole's house every Tuesday night for at least maybe 4.5 hours, organising all of our stuff, getting quotes. We also got dinner together though, which is really nice. We all went to school together too, which was really cool to all get back together and hang out again. It was hard work, but we also had a lot of fun doing it as well. I'm a mum. I'm a daughter.
I'm a son.
I'm an auntie.
I'm a moko.
I'm a brother.
And we are Ngāi Tūāhuriri. At the marae, when we were little, we used to watch Gordy set bushes on fire,
Sneak onto the stage.
fight with our cousin,
steal the raro out of the kitchen,
Play in the mattress room.
and I used to smash the boys at Bull Rush. Our hopes and dreams for the future as rangatahi are
able to move back onto our land and have our papatipu Rūnanga independent from the corporation.
We want to also sustain our reo for future generations.
one of our biggest hopes is to always have a very strong rangatahi presence at our marae.
But to be honest, we just want our future children to run on that fence without getting told off.
We are
Tuahiwi.
They learnt that haka in the last 5 minutes. And that's not actually, that's actually the truth because they've been so busy this weekend working tirelessly for everybody who has come along to share in this weekend.
Melanie was standing backstage just then 1 minute ago and she was going, those kids, they're frustrating me. Look at them.
But they pulled it off. You guys have been so awesome this weekend. Can we please say massive kia ora to them with your paki paki? You're going to bring people on stage?
Thank you very much. We're coming to the end of your Hui-ā-Iwi 2017. Surely hope you've enjoyed yourself. Pretty sure you've got full puku all the weekend. pretty, happy. If you're happy, we're happy. Melanie, what was your favourite moment of the Hui-ā-Iwi this weekend?
Oh, that's a hard one straight away. There's so many favourite moments, but probably for me, it's not just about being this. It's not been just about this weekend. It's actually been about the numbers of weeks building up to it, spending time together, reconnecting with people, seeing what we can deliver to whānau that have come this weekend. I mean, one of the favourite parts for me was watching all the manuhiri walk down the road, following ngā reo, coming in under the ngutu and into the tent. Another favourite part for me would be seeing everybody have a kai in the kaumātua area. The high tea was an effort from the start, from the volunteer people, but seeing the smiles on the faces of our kaumātua, that for me has been an amazing tribute to the work that has been done. I think seeing the team leaders and seeing them put out fires, but doing it with dignity and grace, seeing them deal with the challenges of an event this size. None of them are event coordinators or wedding coordinators. They are people that work on. They are volunteers, basically. That some work on forklifts, others work in offices, some people work on boats. These guys have come in and run a weekend. So that, for me, if you're going to ask me what was my favourite part, I think it's been seeing the reconnections and people working together to bring an event to Ngāi Tahu.
Because this, for us, was not only about the Hui-ā-Iwi, but it was about intergenerational change. And so what we know is that our uncles and aunties, a lot of them have passed, and we are now the uncles and aunties, and these are our rangatahi, and we were these people 20 years ago. And so we hope that we've done our taua, and our aunties and our uncles who are out there today, who are at home throughout the world, we hope we've done you proud, because if we've done that, we're happy. No one's been telling us off too much, so we must be doing good.
We're going to bring on to stage now a number of the volunteers and workers who have worked over the past between 19 weeks, this week, today. They're going to all come up onto stage now so you can see the face of who has been organising the weekend for you.
So the whānau coming up.
No mai hara mai koutou.
Everyone. So these we've tried to get everyone. These are the 100 or 150 people that have contributed to make sure this happens this weekend. We're moving into our porapuraki or our Mihi Whakamutu. So Tamari will be up backstage, and I'm pretty sure Lisa will be joining us shortly.
Just walking on stage, you can see lots of rangatahi with white t-shirts on. These guys are from the Kaipoi High School, and they have worked, I think I arrived on Thursday afternoon, and they were ironing little things like from ironing tablecloths to putting salt and pepper shakers on, to getting flowers, to being bossed around by grumpy people like me. They have, we just want to really think, and you know what, they've been here the whole time. So sometimes in an event like this, we get a bit of a drop-off, but I would say Kaipoi High School and their rangatahi have been here the whole entire time. Coming onto stage, you can see our hangi men, our barbecue people. Coming onto stage, you can see the people who looked after our kaumātua, our miri ladies, the people who gave everybody miri from 6 o'clock in the morning until 9 or 10 o'clock at night. There were people in that office. We've got our marae administrators. We've got our photographers. Forgive me if I give in. Our operations manager. We've got people who have worked in the kitchen. Coming through, we have our project coordinator, our kai guy. We have, who else can I see? We've got the people who, organise the T-shirts that they're all wearing. We've got our mahi toi people coming on board now, as I can see. We've got some Ngāi Tahu representatives as well. Everybody step forward. Don't be afraid.
Come forward.
Look, there's a whole stage here for you to use. We don't need to cramp up. And we're walking onto stage now. We've still got people coming on. We're going to pass the rākau kōrero kia te Ngāi Tahu to finish and wrap up for us. Ngā mihi.
Au tēnā rā koutou, ko tōku mahi o te wānei kia whakakapi ai tuhui mō tātou katoa. Engari, ko te mea tuatahi te awhina, McGlinchey, kei he rā koe. O, kia tere. Right. Before our whina arrives, we thanked people on the, I don't know what day it was, Saturday, Friday, I think. One of the persons I missed out on because they were working so hard out the back, this isn't necessarily for them. It's for their father who, during the claim years, no one had any money, simple as that. The way we paid things is, I remember Bluff would send up a lot of Titi and Pohawaitai Islands and all the other islands, Nash Norton and others. And Henry Jacobs down the back of Church Bush Road would kill his beef and kill the sheep regularly. That's how we got through with the food. And Uncle Henry, like Jono, was a very close confidant of Dad's. So Clifford and Todd, could you please accept this, please? Maru Tangata Hara Henare Jacobs was his name. I want to go now to Te Awhina. Where's Te Awhina? Right. The next person that I want to present to is, during the claim years, we had an aunt here who I loved very much. Many of us did. But she caused people to have emotional reactions sometimes, because sometimes she was quite sour, or kawa. And she was biting, and at times I couldn't believe what came out. But she was actually a wonderful, close person who got us through, and she gave Dad stuff that he needed to get through. The problem is sometimes, most of the times, he didn't listen, he wandered off on his own. But you've seen this gentleman in our pa for quite some time, Grenville Peterma. Next, my daughter had two very good friends, Silla and Hanuere. They've come down from the North Island. Hanuere's Naida Glavich's moko. But I've been watching them. They simply come down because they're friends, and it's nice to have friends. They say. So, these two wonderful girls who have come from the North Island to help at this hui, what a lovely thing to do. So thank you very much. Is Te Awhina here? Okay. Now, Te Awhina McGlinchey has been charged with the duty of being the liaison officer, which is really a smart way of chucking her under the bus with us. Because I know our behaviour and I know what we're like. No one gets us other than us, possibly Temuka. But Te Awhina really has done, she's had to deal with us. I don't know how to put it in any other way, and the way we bite can be quite cutting. But Te Awhina knows us well enough to focus on the work. Te Awhina, we worked together 20 years ago, Te Awhina, I think, and you're still a superb worker. Wherever you are, can you please accept? When Dad passed away, my brothers and I had a meeting, and we pretty much said, there's unfinished business. It's just unfinished business. We're going to have to finish this game off. And my older brother and I just don't have time to focus on what's important sometimes, which is the back. And I don't know how we did it. We got 300 eels last week. I had two aunts and an uncle out there rolling every night. Grenville and all the boys that were out there gutting and doing what they have to do with eels. And I really am grateful to my younger brother for leading the cookhouse. Thank you, Mara. Now the last person. When we decided to do this show, I thought, my God, a tidal wave's coming. We really didn't know how this was going to go. Now, there were two things from Tuahiwi's end. One is to maintain our position and our authority, and the other is to be nice. And I looked at this. This would take a lot of managing. And I spoke to my older brother because there was a person that stood up and we could see it. And I had to talk to my older brother. And his words were this: if she does it, she'll get the job done, but there's going to be carcasses over the road. There just will be corpses, but she'll do the job. And we understand that. Focused, committed to the pā, we had to have someone that would defend us and that would stand the line and try to articulate what we believe and feel to everyone else. And she certainly got the job done. If there's damage, Nicole, I'm sorry. But you know what? I think both our Pōwhiri and Tahu would be really, really proud. So it's a time to finish, and thank you everyone here. Thank you very much for being gracious and helping. And ko tēnei tuā kia whakakapi ai te hui. Ngāi Tahu, it was a privilege to participate in this event and to hold the hui here. A lot of words have been spoken. What I want you to do is just, I know it's hot in this whare, but we've spoken about the future, all right? Now, what I need you to do is think of what your ancestors wanted for you. It's no use talking anymore about our mokopuna. What did your ancestors want for you, us, and our children? And just sit quietly and think about it and dream it. And when you've got the idea in here, close your eyes and imagine it. Now, when you think of it, don't let it go. Because people let their dreams go, and that's what tipuna was talking about. We have to dream and reimagine what we want to be in the future as a people unto ourselves who live in our own world next to our neighbour and our Pākehā neighbours, and we participate equally as a people. I think that's our unfinished business. Tuahiwi left us with one law: care for the people, cherish the people. But the other pepeha was this: Iahu mai oku ture, I tōku tupuna ko Tuahuriri. My laws come from my ancestor, Tuahuriri. And it's not Tuahuriri solely. What they're really saying is our laws come from our ancestors. That's the world we need to live in. Nō reira, kia motu au taku kōrero. Thank you everyone for attending this hui. It's been a privilege and an honour. Tēnā rā koutou, tēnā rā koutou katoa. Kia ora. We call this succession planning. Before I do finish, I just want to thank our elders down here. It's been a fun time preparing, particularly with those elders who helped us with the great train robbery in Christchurch. They'll know what I'm talking about. Piki te ora, piki te kā, piki te Maramatanga.
So that ends our Hui-ā-Iwi, folks. Just to let you know, we want to clean up real quick, so just letting you know. Also, lunch is served. So we have a barbecue lunch. Please go and enjoy your lunch. Thank you.